All right, we're back again to talk about seeking truth in Scripture.
Yeah.
And so today is our Matthew 26:19 through 21.
Yeah. All right. So this is during the Passover.
Yep.
The Last Supper. And we have this nice little chunk of verses.
Yeah.
It says, "And the disciples did as Jesus had directed them, and they prepared the Passover. When it was evening, he reclined at the table with the 12, and as they were eating, he said, 'Truly, I say to you, one of you will betray me.'"
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I thought we ought to go back to the Passover because some people may not completely understand, because it took me many years to get the Passover. And this was the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, when this was a Thursday before he would be crucified on Friday and die and resurrection on Sunday. So I don't know that it was, I think it was those days. So
Right.
Anyway, so Passover. What is Passover?
Passover started way back in Exodus.
Yeah. Woo! Back in the beginning of the Bible.
Yeah, and it kind of goes along with what we were saying in the last video of, humans tend to forget about things, but God established this festival, this Passover, as a way to remember exactly what happened.
Yeah.
The power that he had going and taking them out of Egypt.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, so Passover, back in Exodus, Moses is leading his people, trying to get Pharaoh to change his mind, and all these plagues come, and finally the last one comes, the angel of death.
Yes. And
literally Passover means it's celebrating the angel of death passing over
your home.
Yeah. Yeah. So it affected anyone who did not have, specifically like the perfect spotted lamb or spotless lamb, the blood on the lentils, the door frame.
The door frame. Yeah.
Yeah. And the angel saw the sacrifice of the lamb and passed over that.
Yeah.
That place, and would go on to the Egyptians that didn't have that protection.
It was for Israelites and Egyptians as well, and it did plague and it did kill their firstborn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the specifics, I don't know if you're going into the specifics of
It's okay if you want. Yeah.
Let's see if I
if you want to. What do you mean? The food part?
Yeah.
No, because I don't think I would get them all right.
Okay.
But there is a specific food, there was that meant certain things. Sarah did it for us actually one time in our women's group. We did it, and it was really pretty cool. But they do have like the bitter herbs, and then they have the shank of the lamb. All these things meant something specific.
Yeah.
But now, because of his death and resurrection, it's now what we call the Last Supper, because it was his last supper with his disciples.
He was going to be that lamb that the blood was shed for his children, his people, everywhere.
Yeah.
And that Passover is the similar Passover to what we originally they originally celebrated in Exodus.
Yeah.
Passed down, and now this was going to be the last one before the ultimate sacrifice of the lamb.
And if we read further, he tells us, I don't think we said it in that passage, he tells us, do this in remembrance of me. Further into that passage, I believe it says.
Yeah, because we then get communion out of his meal. We have the wine that is his blood,
representative,
and the body. I did it backwards, but the body's first. But the body that is, torn and
broken. But his body was not broken. But it represents his flesh was broken. No bones
are broken. That's part of a prophecy. There was no bones broken, and even though they should. They could have, because they usually break the legs.
Physically, he was broken, not necessarily a broken bone, but
exactly. I mean, bread is easily torn.
Yes.
He was whipped, and so his flesh was torn.
Yeah.
Very, very visceral thing. If you ever, there's a whole medical PDF.
And if you ever watched the what was that one movie?
The Passion.
The Passion. I watched it once.
That's even just
A fraction.
Yeah. A fraction.
Yeah. I played it one time for my women, a section out of it because it was representative, and I won't do that again because it was very overwhelming.
Yeah.
Because I wanted them to get the idea of it, and some of them had not seen it.
Yeah.
So, but when you think of, because we talked about it, it was unleavened bread. Unleavened bread has no salt in it.
Yeah.
So it's like almost like a cracker.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
A break. Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
But anyway, so that's where we're at here. But these specific verses, they're in the midst of enjoying and celebrating this Passover, this remembrance of what God did for them, bringing them out of Egypt. And Jesus drops a truth bomb on them.
Yeah, really.
Hey,
exactly.
One of you guys are going to betray me. Like we, as Christians, we get to see this story over and over again, and we sometimes get desensitized to it. But we have to remember that the disciples had no clue who was going to betray them. They kept saying, "Is it I, Lord? Is it me?
Is it I?" No, we did the Passover at our Easter event.
Yes.
And at the end of every one of their statements, they go, "Is it me?" Yeah. And that was powerful. I thought, "Is it me?" Yeah. And because I think all of us, I think of, I always go back to this young girl in Columbine, and she was asked to, denounce Jesus, and she did not, and she was shot immediately. And I think even for us, would we say, would I do that? Yeah. Or would I do it? Would I have done it? Or will I do it?
Yeah.
There may be a day that we have to have it in our head. Will we stand up for Jesus? Yeah. And even if that moment comes.
And even if it's not something as extreme as being
killed. Oh yeah.
We still have to question, am I going to stand up for God? Am I going to stand up in a situation where if nobody else did, then something bad might happen, or somebody might not get to hear God's word?
Or if you're in a crowd and, how many of, let's get talked as goody two-shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Which I did when I was a kid, and I said, nah, I didn't want to be goody two-shoes, you know? But that's what I didn't realize that, and I didn't think about it till just now.
You don't connect it.
You don't connect it, but that was kind of what they were saying, and did I like it? No, but I should have thought about that back when. Yeah.
Because it's not our place to fit into society.
No.
It's our place to stand out and to show them what's so different about us, this God that we get to follow, and who loves us, and who also loves them.
Yeah, exactly.
But so coming back to this, the disciples are sitting there in the midst of happiness, enjoying the meal, and they're like,
what?
Jesus, what are you talking about?
Yeah. And what's so cool about this, and I'm going to go back up to the verse up above it, and he told them, well, where are we going to do this? Where are we going to do this, Jesus? Where are we going to have the Passover at? And he goes, go to this man, tell him we're going to use his house, and you to have Passover. Yep. And it's like, okay, they went and they told the man agreed, and they did exactly what they were being obedient.
Yes, exactly.
They were being obedient. So here they are now in this room, and then they throw this bomb, like you talk about it.
Yeah. And also what you're saying with how the Passover, it's eaten with bitter herbs.
Yes.
And something that I saw in a commentary was relating those physical bitter herbs to this news that he was going to be betrayed by one of his followers.
That would be like any small group you're in to think somebody betrayed you. You know what I mean? In some way, it's hard. Yeah. That's hard stuff when you're betrayed, and.
But he knew.
He knew it.
He knew it from the beginning, from the moment. Even before he met Judas, but even as he met Judas, possibly shook his hand, looked him in the eye, said that he loved him,
lived life.
Wanted to follow. They lived life together.
Yeah.
But he did not treat Judas any different than his disciples because of the fact that they all did not know who it was that was going to betray him.
Yeah.
Jesus loves everyone.
Yeah.
And it comes down to our choice.
And I'm not sure, and I didn't research into that. I don't know that there was did he have the propensity to do something like that? Is that why he was chosen? You know, was he one? I mean, like, who thought Peter would deny Jesus 3 times, right?
Yeah.
And so, did Judas have that propensity to be that person that was greedy?
Yeah, he was stealing.
He was the money person, right?
Was.
He did, yeah. So he did have that, because I believe in a verse before that they talk about Satan entering him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's different versions.
Yeah.
So, like I looked at all the different Gospels.
Yeah.
And Matthew, like, it reveals that it's Judas here in this moment as like he's everyone's asking, is it me? And Judas asks at the end, is it me? And Jesus says, you said it. You have said it.
Yeah.
Like that
the one who
you.
dipped with me, you know.
Yeah, so that was in John.
John, yeah.
So the Gospels portray this story, this wonderful history.
Yeah.
In different perspectives, like
absolutely, because you and I have different perspectives.
Exactly, what I'm gonna remember is something that different she's gonna remember.
Yeah, something that hits me. Yeah,
but it all is saying the same thing. Yeah. So so Matthew and John, it reveals it in the Passover.
Yeah.
Mark and Luke, they don't get. It's not revealed until the garden. With,
okay.
With the betrayal. With
okay.
The kiss.
Okay, with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I was like looking through. I was like making sure, but like so 2 of the Gospels, reveal.
Before the garden. Before he does it.
So clearly he didn't, or everyone knew before the garden, before the kiss.
Yeah.
But for us readers, it's revealed in the betrayal in the garden and the kiss for those 2.
It's it's interesting, because the other part of that was, and this is something I learned about a meal, about meals, and I bought a table many years ago that I bought it because I wanted it to be a family table for meals. I wanted it, I had it all counted out, and spouses and all that kind of thing. Not children yet, but having a meal together was the supreme act of intimacy and trust. So it was like, when you're sitting there having a meal, it was like, it was a
trust at
an all-time high. Yeah, all-time high. And so that's what this was. It was a big deal, and so no wonder all the disciples went, is it me? Shocked. Is it me? And I think it's this version. I don't know if it's in. I think it is in Matthew. He says it was better that you had not been birthed. To Judas. And so it was a serious thing that he was fixing to do. It was a necessary thing.
Yes. Because
he did have to be betrayed, I believe. I don't know if there had been another way for him to be betrayed or go to the cross, but he gave them over. Yeah. It was like Judas gave him over to them, to the soldiers.
Well, I mean, we see later that, Pontius Pilate, he didn't necessarily want to deal with it as the Romans.
No.
The Pharisees wanted to hide behind the Romans.
Right.
And so the only way for anything to happen was for that betrayal from within.
One of those.
From within that group.
And of course, it was the Pharisees, I believe, right, that coerced him to do that.
Yes.
And then, of course, Judas went back and threw the money at him, and they now use that money for a potter's field.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole. I mean, this. Yeah. I mean, you can just go on and on about this little piece, and that's the part that's so amazing is how, it's not just one little piece. It extends beyond just those 2 verses. Yeah. The consequences maybe of the actions, and what happened, but. They were doing what they were supposed to. They were remembering the Exodus. Yeah. And now we remember the Last Supper. Yep. I don't know how often we do it. I think it's like on a 5th Sunday, quarterly. Yeah. On a 5th, I don't know, quarterly. So, So there's a reason for it. Not to forget. We don't want to forget what he sacrificed for us to have the life we have, the relationship that we have with God. Correct. Through him. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus not only went through that physical suffering, but that emotional suffering. I mean, even though he knew it was going to happen, I can't imagine what he was feeling. If he was able to cry at Lazarus's death, and he knew he was going to rise again, like, Jesus
he came down as flesh.
Those.
He was flesh.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And he says there's not anything that we have not, I can't remember, in the verse that talks about him knowing what we suffer, what we go through. He knows that.
He knows.
He knows it. Yeah. So, anything else you got?
I don't think so.
All right, so far we haven't thrown anything at each other about what we said or fallen out because we're like, oh no, you said that and I don't know what to say to that. So, so that means we've been together a long time, and been able to kind of think through the same things, but but also come up with things that are different. So that was pretty cool. I don't know what's next, but you never know.
Find out next week.
That's right. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.